Okay, so it says writing fractions as decimals. Is everybody familiar with how to convert a fraction to a decimal? We learned it in 6th grade. We haven't done it a ton in here. I'm going to give you kind of a brief recap on it. What it is, it's going to be, you're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. You're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. And so what that means is we're going to take the top number, the numerator, we're going to put it into the house, we're going to divide it by the bottom number. So for instance, 4/5, I'm going to take the 4, put it in and divide it by 5. Can we all agree with that? Okay, well, 4 divided by 5 is 0. So I've got to add a decimal, 0. Do we agree? How many times does 5 go into 40? Read? 8. And 8 times 5 is 40. So the correct answer to that would become 0.8 or 8 tenths. Are we okay with that? Why don't you go ahead and try doing 3 divided by 8 for me now. Turn 3/8 into a decimal for me. Turn 3/8 into a decimal. Josh, what'd you get?
1375.
I agree. Easy enough? 0.375 or 375 thousandths? Alright, we want to do more, or are we okay with this skill? We're good? Alright, awesome. So now we're going to be looking for unknown measurements of similar triangles. Now, before we talk about similar triangles, I want to jump into a couple different things. Similar shapes last week. They are same shape, different what?
Size.
Same shape, different size. On top of that, we know that the angles are always going to be what? The same. And the sides are going to be proportional. Because if they weren't the same, if they're the same size, then it's the same shape. Can't have that. Okay, so this is again what we've been focused on. It's giving us the example of ABC is similar to JGH. Well, it should be XYZ, but either way. And angle C right here is not given to me. But if angle Z over here is 53, what does that make this? 53. Are we all okay with that? Now, over here, this is my angle X over here, right? What symbol does that mean? 90. And so if angle X is 90, what does that mean angle A is? 90. Are we all okay there? All right, awesome. I'm going to keep moving on. We're going to go down to example 2, but I'm going to scroll down so people can see. I know Zion has trouble seeing through my iPad recording, so I'm going to get a little higher there. All right, there we go. So the volleyball court is rectangular, and that is similar to an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Find the width of the pool. What do you think we're going to set up? This is that magic word that it took us about 2 minutes to find earlier in class. Proportions. We're going to set up a proportion. Can anybody tell me how to set up this proportion over here? How would I set up the proportion of this one over here? Addison.
9 over 18.
9 over 18. And then how am I going to set up the other one? Mariah, how am I going to do it? Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, Mariah, and it's not meant to be a trick question, so if it's confusing, I apologize. Why did I put the 9 and the X together?
Because they're on the width.
Yeah, they're on the width. They're both the pieces that are going from top to bottom there. Okay, how do I solve this problem? Cross, multiply, and divide. Please do that for me. You go ahead and cross, multiply, and divide those for me. I know those numbers are a little bit bigger, but you can do them. Cross, multiply, and divide, please. You got the answer ready?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hang tight. Let me give them the rest of the class a second. Jackson, what'd you get?
450.
X equals 450.
Wait, no.
You got 9 times 50 is 450. Is that what you meant, Jackson? And then 18 times x is 18x. Divide those out. X equals
Yeah.
25. Absolutely. Reed said, couldn't you just make 9 over 18 1/2? That's scale factor. And we will talk about scale factor on Wednesday. Scale factor on Wednesday, so that'll help with that. Good there? All right, anybody have an issue with setting up that proportion? All right, couple more for our notes. Couple more. Sorry, I didn't mean to get that far. Okay, now, I'm looking for the unknown measurement. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for angle Y and angle X. Now before we do that, I really want you to get good or start to envision yourself drawing these triangles in here when they're facing different directions. Notice that my right angle is up at the top left in this one. It's in the bottom right in this one down here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to redraw this. I'm going to draw a smaller triangle in here. Is everybody okay with that? Now, my right angle has to be up here, and so what angle does that make this one from this triangle? G, right? It makes it 90, I agree, yes. But it makes it angle G, though. Now, my short side of the triangle, that makes this what over here? H, and this down here, J. Okay, I'll agree with that. Now, if I want to rewrite these, what is the length of HJ?
50, or 50, is that 5.8?
5.8, yep. What is the length of JG?
5.
And then do we know the length of GH? Nope. Okay, we're all okay there. So Y is an angle. Can anybody tell me what angle Y is going to equal? This would be where angle Y is at, right here. 59, do we agree? Because we know that with similar figures, their angles are always what? The same. Now, we want to find X now. Do you think you could solve X? Do you think you could solve it? Go for it. Solve X. I don't care how you do it, just want you to attempt it. I want you to think about it and see what makes sense to your brain. When you have an answer, please raise your hand. I want to make sure I see a consistent amount of people before I just give you the answer, okay? Not trying to trick you or make you feel guilty, just want to make sure we're doing this accurately. Kaden, what'd you get? 3. Do we agree? Yeah. Here's how my brain works on this, and this is me kind of taking some shortcuts if I'm being honest. I looked right here and I saw that from 5 to 10 was times 2, which meant that X times 2 had to be 6, and therefore I just did half of 6, which gave me 3. That's how my brain works. If you wanted to set up an actual proportion, we could have done this. 10 over 5 is equal to 6 over X. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, now, do you think you could do number 3? I'm not asking you to do it yet, but do you think you could do it?
Yeah.
Do you think it would be beneficial to draw the triangle inside of the other triangle? Maybe, maybe not.
It's too small.
Too small? Okay. Okay. Can anybody tell me what angle S is going to be?
Yes.
It's this one right here by the A. What is it? 120. I agree. 120. Because if I wanted to rewrite that one, if I wanted to draw it again, it would look something like this. Because I flipped it, and so this would be G, this would be J, and this would be H. We're good there? Alright, find me T. Find me this piece right here. Find me T. Find me that length over there. Zana, what'd you get? 180. 180. 180. Huh? You think 18? So you think that this is 90 centimeters and this one's 18 centimeters? You're right. You're absolutely there. 18 is the correct. 180 is the correct answer, but 118 and 180 just missed the 0, right? So here's what I did again. Still cross multiply. I set up my proportion. I did 120 over 60 is equal to x over 90. Yeah, what's up?
I think I got the answer for T.
What'd you get?
160.
I got 180.
I got 180.
Let me walk through what I did. I did 120 over 60 is equal to x over 90. And then what I did, just because I thought about it differently, was I got rid of my zeros and I had 12 over 6 is equal to x over 9. Then I simplified 12 over 6 to get 2 over 1. 1 times 9 gave me 9, so I had to do 2 times 9 to give me 18. Then I had to go back in and add my 0. But again, if you'd done the actual math cross multiply and divide, you would have got the same thing. Does that make sense? Hey, we're down to 4 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and stop my video. I know we didn't get all the way through the notes, but I think we are good enough for what I need.